Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today I'm at Volvo Cars of Shreveport and we're going to answer the question, does the 2023 Volvo XC90 all-wheel drive B6 Ultimate, that is a mouthful, isn't it, live up to its price tag? Now we're going to take a good look inside and out to find out. And speaking of the fact that this is the B as in boy, B6 model, that's one of the changes for 2023. The T5 and T6 powertrains are now gone in favor of the mild hybrid B5 and B6 powertrains. And the new Google-based infotainment system that has voice commands. You can talk to Google and it just makes things so much easier than they've ever been before, is now standard equipment on these models. So let's dive in and see exactly what we have and what you get for the price. And taking a look on this bright, sunny Northwest Louisiana day, gonna be a little bit hard to see, but everything here is LED. You're gonna have those very nice LED headlights separated by the blinker, the turn signal indicator here. I'm not gonna say what it looks like because it's been said so many times already. And then we're going to have the LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper. You're gonna have a lot of chrome here as well. The chrome surround in this area, the chrome grille with that classic Volvo look, obviously going to have the Volvo logo there in the center. And then we're going to take a look here at what we have with our tire size. This is an all-wheel drive model, as I mentioned earlier. Nice meaty 275 on the width, a 40 series sidewall, and those are 21-inch wheels. A very nice look here with the front end as far as the overall body lines go. With the Volvo, the thing I like here is that Volvo has maintained some consistency as far as the look of the front end with the grille. While everything else has been redesigned over the course of several years, you do still have that classic look with the Volvo grille right there. It's not something that's going to necessarily make people look at it and say, I'm not sure what that is. They're going to know. We do have the body color surround for the fender flares right here. You're going to have the flat portion that comes up off of the flare, working its way up onto the fender. It's going to have the nice character lines working its way up at an angle, and then it's gonna just kind of work its way with the nice lines into the hood. It does have a nice large center bulge, so if you like those center bulges, that's good. Then we're gonna have the power folding and power adjustable side view mirrors with turn signal indicators built in, body color on the door handles. And speaking of the doors, here is your remote. No changes for 2023 where that is concerned, but you can see it's a very neat and clean remote because you don't have the buttons on the face of the remote. They're on the side right here to control everything. And if you're a fan of chrome, you're gonna have quite a bit of that chrome look with the surround on the windows, complemented by the gloss black right here. We're also gonna have some chrome down here with this portion of the trim on the door sills down here, really accenting the lines of the vehicle. Kind of hard to see some of that because of the color of the vehicle, but you can see some of the lines here that we have that really set this vehicle off and make it look very nice. This is a 7-seater 3-row, by the way. We're going to have the brushed aluminum with the roof rails up here. The tastefully done, not too big, not too small rear roof spoiler. It's going to channel the air over this window, help to keep that clean when driving down the road. When it's not clean, when it's raining, when it's been sitting still, whatever, and the back window is dirty, well, you've got the rear window wiper right here. Plenty of room to tuck that inside of this rear roof spoiler. That really clean things up back here. Obviously the Volvo logo, you know it's an XC90 and the B6 powertrain, and it's all-wheel drive. And the Volvo specific, very nicely and tastefully done. LED taillights, the lights working their way up. Got that nice large section right here, and then things kind of start to narrow up as it goes towards that rear roof spoiler, and it finds its way to where it stops there and meets the rear roof spoiler. Also, gonna have some more of that chrome here on the top of the bumper with the trim piece up here. And even though this is not a plug-in hybrid or anything like that, it's definitely not an EV, Volvo's intention of going purely electric and hybrid and all that good stuff, that's why you don't see any exhaust outlets here. There are exhaust pipes underneath the rear bumper here. Let's see if we can get a look at that. There you go. You can see one right there. and another right there. But that's hidden away, and that's why Volvo has done that. Speaking of the exhaust, what a great segue to talk about what's under the hood. And I like the fact that the hood opens as widely as it does. That gives us a great look at the 2-liter E-charged direct injection 4-cylinder. 295 horsepower, quite a respectable number. The torque numbers come in at 310. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You already know that power ultimately makes its way to the ground via all-wheel drive. And I apologize that these windows are so dirty. I couldn't get into a car wash today to get everything cleaned off. So we'll give you the numbers though on the MPGs. 20 city, 26 highway, 22 combined. And an impressive 4.5 gallons of gas. 4.5 gallons of gas is what Volvo says you should use for every 100 miles you drive. And just in case you didn't believe me, I told you these are power folding side view mirrors. When you lock the vehicle, there is exactly what's going to happen. Those mirrors are going to fold in. When you unlock, obviously they'll fold back out. I know a lot of you like that feature, so you know that it is indeed there. And if you want to tow with your XC90 in this configuration, you can tow up to a maximum 5,000 pounds. You do have the hands-free tailgate right here. If you want to use the motion sensor down here, you've got the directions right there to show you how to use that feature down there. But obviously, quite a bit of space in here. 12.5 up to 65.5 cubic feet in cargo capacity. I do have the third row folded down at the moment. We're going to take a look at how well I fit in there in just a couple of minutes. And obviously, you have plenty of space in here. You will find that you have space here on the side. There's also space over here. There's a lot of stuff in here right now, so it makes it kind of hard to show you what is here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I am not sure if I can lift this up or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. And you can kind of see that you do have a spare tire, because I know another one of those common questions, such as, does it have turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors? Are they power folding? Also, does it have a spare tire? That is good news to be able to say, yes, it does. And we'll start off our interior tour by taking a look at the door panels here on the rear doors. You do have the ability to put up the privacy shades, at least your middle row seat passengers do. So that is an option, very easy to do, very tastefully done, very elegant materials, high-end materials throughout the interior. The wood grain paneling right here, going to have some brushed aluminum, not only here as far as trim under that wood grain paneling, but also for the door handle. Let's give the soft touch materials here the armrest test. That is comfortable, very comfortable, actually has a nice bit of give to it, so it's not hard as a rock or anything like that. The door bins right here have a good bit of space for a nice large bottle, some snacks to go inside there. And then if you want to fold these seats flat to maximize cargo capacity, which obviously you can fold all of the seats here flat to do that, well, there's how you do it. And before I hop into the rear seat area, into that third row, I did want to show you, you can see the difference in the positioning of the seats on this side and the far seat over there on the right-hand side. On the passenger side, you can move these seats back and forth to increase leg space in the rear for rear seat passengers. So we're going to pull up on that release. We're going to move that seat up and out of the way. There is quite a bit of space to get in there for whoever wants to hop on back here. And so what I'm going to do is actually show you the space with the seats all the way back. That is pretty tight for me, but an adult can fit back here if they want to. Head space, well, I'm 5'10", and you can see, well, there's where I am. It is kind of tight back here, but you could stretch your legs out just a little bit in this other seat of the two available seats back here. Obviously, you can see that all of the seats can move forward. This is pretty far forward, but it does increase leg space quite a bit. So a nice option as far as that is concerned. And what about other features back here? An additional cup holder and air conditioning vents. Everybody has their own air conditioning vent. And even though I don't have the shade open right now, everybody would probably complain about it being too bright, but you can see the sun shining through and see that we do have a panoramic sunroof. By the way, there is a little bit of extra space right here as well. Hide away the snacks back there. If somebody says to themselves, I've got those secret Skittles or whatever it is they like to eat, and they don't want someone else eating them, well, just hide them away right there. They won't even know they're there. And now that I'm sitting in the middle row, you can see I have a lot more leg space. And obviously that can change just as well depending on where the front two seats are positioned. And here is the control center for controlling not only the heated seats back here, the outboard seats are heated, but also fan speed, all that good stuff. And really, you've got quad zone climate control here. So you can see the two different settings there for both sides of the rear area of the vehicle. And obviously, fan speed can be controlled here just as easily. Air conditioning vents, not only here on the rear of the center console, but on the door pillars as well, avoiding our tongue twisting there. Seems to be hard to do sometimes. And then connectivity. There are our first of multiple USB ports that we'll find throughout the vehicle. A little bit of storage here on the rear of the seats to complement things and finish things up. You will also find, let's just go ahead and cover everything just to be safe, the fold-down armrest. Conceal those cup holders away or reveal them just like that. Let's see if we can get that back in place. And when you raise this, the headrest right here, to get it back down, all you have to do is push that button. I don't think I can do it. Yep, I can do it one-handed. You can see that moving. There you go, by pushing that button that I just concealed away. That one right there. So if you're curious about what that button is for, well, now you know. And obviously you have all of your floor mats, cargo cover, all that kind of stuff for the floor that can go down. You also have the retractable cargo cover for privacy back here if you want to conceal away something you might not want people to see from the outside. And taking a look in through the passenger side front door, we're going to have the similar materials here that we did on the rear, a little bit more of a taller section right here, and something you'll find here that you don't find on a lot of vehicles, even at a price point of over $73,000. You'll find seat memory, 3 settings on the passenger side. That means you know you have it on the driver's side. Again, those soft touch materials, a larger door bin, and fully adjustable power seats for the driver and the passenger. Both are heated and ventilated. Also have the heated steering wheel as well. Let's hop inside and see how things travel from the door panel on to the dashboard. More of that wood grain trim right here, the wood grain paneling. We're going to have the brushed aluminum, not only here on the bottom, but also around the air conditioning vents. And we will hit the button right here so we can open the glove box and see how much space is in there. Quite a bit of space. And then you can see how well my water bottle fits down into the bottle holder. There is quite a bit of space left here. So if you wanted to use that, in fact, we'll take that out of the way. There we go. Now it fits a lot better. But you can see what's here. There is the 12-volt power outlet. We can open things up right there for a little bit more space. And the very nice shifter. I like what Volvo has done here. They have a very nice looking crystal shifter. Just a unique look. And then you're going to have the switch. I wouldn't call it a button, but it's a switch because you turn it to start the vehicle. And then we'll work our way back here to the center console. Going to have a decent amount of space in there. You can control the shade for the panoramic sunroof and open the front portion. It tilts and it will slide back. And then we'll also take a look at what we have here with our vanity mirrors and the sun visors. See how far back that sun visor goes. Surprisingly, it doesn't go back at all. That's an interesting thing I wasn't quite expecting or just forgot about, because I have done several of these Volvo XC90s in the past. But in case you were curious about that, yeah, it doesn't actually move back. It just stays in place. So, well, depending on where the passenger or the driver are sitting with these windows, could get some sunlight in. And taking a look in through the driver's side door. Not much of a difference compared to what we saw on the passenger side, but you do have the window locks and the child safety lock switch right here. For those of you who are always telling me that vehicles have always had the child safety locks activation switch on the rear doors, well, guess what? That's not true, because it's not there. It's on the door where it normally is on most vehicles. I do get that in the comments from the know-it-alls quite a bit. So everything here to control the windows. You can obviously lock and unlock the doors. Told you seat memory here as well. And then you can control those heated, power adjustable, power folding side view mirrors. And we'll hop inside. In fact, real quick, I did tell you, yes, there is the panoramic sunroof in all its glory. I opened the shade up for you because I know a lot of you were probably going to say, hey, Tom, we want to see that. So there you go. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to all you have to do to close that is just swipe your finger like this, and you can see that the shade is coming forward, because I want to make sure that I take the sun out of the interior as much as I can to show you everything here. A very nice digital instrument display. You can see that you have navigation on there, which is now Google powered, and you have, well, everything else you know what you need to see here. Speedometer, your digital speedometer, and then you also have everything to tell you where you are as far as how you're controlling that 8-speed automatic transmission, controls for your adaptive cruise control, and all your controls here, steering wheel-mounted controls for managing everything you want to see up there on the dashboard. Like I said, a heated steering wheel, very easy to activate. You do all that through the infotainment screen. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But a very tastefully done interior. Looks nice, it's comfortable, a very nice vehicle for sure. You do have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. I am a little bit surprised that it's manually adjustable at this price point, but it is. Not that that's a terrible thing, but that's what you have. And before we talk about the infotainment screen, let's take a look at our rear view camera. You do have a very nice view right there. You can also go in and take a look all around the vehicle. So let's say we wanted to zoom in on the rear. Well, we can do that. We can also look at the front view camera. I don't think there is a front camera washer. There is not, so just wanted to check on that to see. And obviously you can do the same thing on the sides of the vehicle. Super easy, super simple to do, and you don't have to be in reverse to do that. All you have to do is hit that button right there, and it will take you in or out of that screen, as you can see. Now, let's take a look at what we have here as far as some of the options go. Pretty easy to figure out, but like I said, you can ask Google a lot of questions, give her a lot of commands. Let's just say, I know I'm a little low on gas, so let's see what we can do for the test drive. Hey Google, how far can I drive?
You can drive for about 49 miles with the remaining gas.
And if I set off any of your devices, please accept my sincerest apologies. Now, we can go right here and control everything with the air conditioning. In fact, let's do this. I told you, here are your ventilated seats. In fact, I'm going to turn that on. 3 different settings for that. We're not going to leave the heated seats on, but you can see that, and you have 3 different settings for the heated steering wheel in addition to everything else there. And here you can control everything with the air conditioning. Now, that's a big advantage to Google Voice, is the fact that you can use your voice commands to change fan speed, to change temperature. The temperature, ironically, it goes in 2 increments. So you'd go from 62 to 64. So if I asked Google to change to 63 degrees, it wouldn't work. I don't know why. Let's try that real quick. Hey Google, change the temperature to 63 degrees.
Sure, changing the temperature to 62 degrees.
I said 63, notice that. So let's do it one more time. Hey Google, change the temperature to 60 degrees.
Got it, changing the temperature to 60 degrees.
I don't know why it works that way, or she just doesn't understand me, but I can't get it to work any differently than that. But you can see what all is here. I do think this is a big improvement for Volvo with having Google Assistant integrated here. You can go in to driving and make any changes you need to make as far as that goes. You've got pilot assist, you've got off-road mode right there if you want to use that. You can do whatever you need to. Also, look at that. We've got Polestar, so we're going to actually drive in Polestar today. But you can see everything that you can go in and change. You can change all of your safety features. If you're saying, hey, Tom, what safety features does that Volvo XC90 have? Well, now you can see. You've got lane keeping aid, road sign information, and ready to drive right here. Ready to drive notification. That is turned on. Quite a bit going on here, driving dynamics, all of that. Obviously, you have pilot assist. But speaking of driving, why don't we get out on the road and see what it is like to drive this XC90 B6 Ultimate. Before we take our test drive, I did want to show you one thing. I'm going to go into drive, and you'll see and hear, you might have heard that indicator that just went off letting me know that I'm getting pretty close to running into something. You have the parking sensors, not only on the front, but on the rear as well. So you can see what's there as far as that goes. It's going to give you a nice overhead view so you can see what's going on around you, just giving you a little more peace of mind. Okay, we can get out on the road for our test drive now. And I know a lot of people are going to say 295 horsepower, it's not enough, but depending on the driving mode you're in, it really wakes it up. If you're in the best driving mode, as we talked about earlier, which is what I'm driving in, it really frees up everything to spin quicker. So that's what the different driving modes do. If you go from whatever the base is, normal, to Polestar, you're really going to tell a big difference. The RPMs are going to turn quicker, or going to rise quicker. The transmission is going to turn more freely. That's essentially what that does. But ultimately, I think that that's plenty of horsepower. You do have a very roomy and comfortable interior, obviously very versatile on the settings for these front seats as far as having the power seats, heated and ventilated, everything you need. It's all there. And so a very nice setup here, very comfortable. The ride quality is good. One thing about the ride quality, we're not going to be able to test it too much on this particular test drive just because of where I am, but you're going to have a little bit of additional body roll than you might otherwise, but that's the price you pay for a comfortable ride quality. So the shocks, the suspension, everything is a little softer, so it's not as stiff. That means the body or the car is not going to take turns quite the same way as it would with a high performance setup, so to speak, but this isn't meant to be high performance. It's meant to be luxurious, it's meant to be comfortable, and it definitely fills the bill where all of that is concerned. And we also have our blind spot monitoring or blind spot information system. You probably can't see how that works as far as the side view mirrors go, but you could see it earlier in the video when I showed you the side view mirrors. You've got those nice bright indicators there that are going to definitely let you know what's going on around you. This vehicle is easier to use than ever before. That's one of the chief complaints that I would have, is the infotainment screen was so hard to use in the past. Everything literally is done from the infotainment screen, including how you set up the air conditioner. But you can change everything with voice commands. You can change the temperature, you can change the fan speed, all of that. I don't want to even begin to try and guess what the number of commands are available to give to Google and use as far as all of that is concerned. So we're gonna go ahead and get on up the road here. But I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with how this XC90 drives. We're going to actually stay within the lines as we're supposed to here, so I don't get any gripes and moans from anybody in the comments section. That does happen sometimes, but people at that particular turn back there, for some reason, they like to do that. I don't know why. Maybe that should have been painted differently. I don't know, but whatever the case is, I'll tell you what, it's easy to get up to speed and get up to more speed than you probably need to be up to with this XC90. I barely got into the pedal and I'm already over the speed limit by a little bit, not a ridiculous amount. The heads-up display, easy to see. Obviously, you can make adjustments to that because depending on your height and all that good stuff, well, you might have to change the position. You can change the brightness. Everything there that you would expect to see, obviously, is going to have your speed limit sign, traffic sign recognition, all that good stuff. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. The handling is good. When I was talking about the fact that you have that soft suspension and all that, that gives a little bit of body roll going through the corners, well, that's not a knock. It's not that the handling is poor because of that. It's just that you're going to have a little bit more than you might otherwise. But ultimately, everything here is doing really well. Everything is easy to use. And like I say, even the infotainment screen, easier than ever to use or to learn. Maybe you've never had anything like this before. Say you've had a Volvo from the 1980s for quite a while now, and you're saying to yourself, well, it's time for a new vehicle. It's time for me to step up to something that has all that technology in it. Well, if you're used to bossing people around, then you're going to love the infotainment screen here because you can boss Google around and tell her what to do when you're out driving. So now that I've done all the talking, it's your turn, or at least to type, or to use Siri to talk for you, or whatever the case is. You can use voice recognition on your phone or your computer or in your vehicle, wherever you are right now, to tell me what you think. Is this 2023 Volvo XC90 all-wheel drive B6 Ultimate? That is a mouthful. Does it live up to its price? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. I've got to say a special thanks to my friends here at Volvo Cars of Shreveport for loaning me this XC90 for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.